Hello, as part of our 2024 Sustainability Business Award entry, we'd like to quickly introduce you to the carbon intensity capability that we've just added into our platform LINQ. LINQ is based on building the digital twin of an organization. This is the relationship between the actions that take place inside the organization, the data and information that's required to deliver business outcomes, the roles that are performing work, and the systems that are used. So here you can see in our model, we have this information flow where we're describing in plain English the work that takes place and the content that's created. And then here you can see a team who is performing a specific activity. For example, the customer services team here is using Excel to validate the name of an email address. Against each of these actions, we quantify the effort required to deliver the outcome from that action. So again, as an example, this validate the name action, it takes place 2,600 times a year, and it takes 30 seconds to perform. So this is a level of activity that's been associated with this team using this system. And this is where the carbon intensity aspect comes into the platform. Against each of the systems that we are modeling, we are now allowing the business to define the infrastructure that supports those systems. So as an example, here is a laptop, the device that we would use to do the majority of our work. Against the laptop, we can now specify the different types, the different scopes of emission. A laptop that you plug into mains electricity, it has a scope 2 emission based on an emission factor for that electricity provision. But it also has a scope 3 emission based on its manufacturing and transportation. So here on the left-hand side, you can see our carbon panel where we have enabled the business to allocate the scope 2 and scope 3 emissions to these laptops. So as an example, a scope 2 emission is made up of an emission factor for the electricity, so that's 0.074 of CO2 equivalent per kilowatt hour. This data comes directly from the Ministry for the Environment. And we've allocated that to a laptop, which is a 60 kilowatt hour laptop. So we now know this laptop is producing 4.4 kilos of CO2 per hour. The laptop also has a manufacturing cost. So based on a 3-year lifespan and 9 people having laptops inside the organization, we're able to say that the manufacturing emission contained within this laptop is 132 kilograms. This has come from the laptop manufacturing website. Also, we have a transportation emission as well. So this is based on distance. And again, using Ministry for Environment's figures for transportation, in this case, a container ship, we're able to apply the kilogram CO2 per kilo per kilometer emission factor to a distance based on a lifespan that the laptop is kept for inside the organization in order to allocate this portion of a scope 3 emission to this infrastructure. But this is where our digital twin comes into its own, because now at an activity level, so for each of these actions inside the organization, because we understand who is performing the action and how they are performing it, we can report at an activity level the carbon profile for this piece of the business. So here is a chart based on each of the actions that we've captured, which is showing the scope 2 emission and the scope 3 emission for that activity at that point in time. So this is actions within a model. We can do the same for systems within a model. So these are the systems that are used when a new customer account is created for this organization, and we're able to break down the emission profile for those systems. And because we can do it at a model level, we can also do it at the organization level. So we can lift this right up and look at our systems and understand the carbon profile for the systems that we are using inside our organization. So this is current state. This is a view today of, based on the way I operate, what does my carbon profile look like? And what we've done within LINQ is integrate this into our improvement process. So we're now looking at a potential change to our organization. In this case, for our create account process, we're incorporating some services from NZ Post and automating several aspects of the process to ensure that our customer account is created correctly. We can add carbon as a number directly into our model, and the down arrow just shows us that we are reducing the amount of carbon that is required or generated as a result of working the way we're working. And indeed, if we look into the insights, we can see here that our scope 2 emissions, as an example, are reducing by 87% because of the way that we have changed how our process takes place. So we've taken a person out using a laptop and we've essentially automated with a system that might be in the cloud. All of those insights flow through everything that we deliver in LINQ. And so you can see here our scope 3 emissions overall are down to 138 from 209. Our scope 2 emissions are also down 38% from 3,407 to 2,107 on the basis that this is the new way that we will work. So once we have defined a future state that we're happy with, we can, of course, go ahead and implement this, whatever the change that is required to deliver the outcome, whether it's a technology implementation or a restructure. But as part of that process, not only can we understand the impact in terms of time and cost and value, we have now integrated emissions and the profile of those emissions for scope 1, 2, and 3 into our modeling. I hope that helps you understand the value of what we've delivered inside our platform and helps as a contribution towards our sustainability award. Thank you.